Today, Precarious plays
Fire Emblem! Go ahead and tell me exactly how, if you lose this map, it's my fault. Go on with yourself.
No, that's not what I said.
Go on with your bad self.
I did not say that. I said...
Well, not in so many words, but it was pretty close.
Well, let me tell you in this many words that I'm about to say that it is not your fault if I lose this map. It's going to be our fault because we put our ideas together and you stomped your ideas on my ideas and...
I will keep my ideas to myself. My ideas.
Your ideas, yes.
My ideas, yeah.
And my ideas are going to be my ideas.
Right.
And I'm going to voice this person because, spoiler alert, shows up again. This is the dude that drops stuff. This will never do! Look at the time!
Oh, that's good. It matches the mustache.
I must leave Kalen now, or my business will be ruined! Time is money after all. Hurry, 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 rush, rush, rush. What the fuck?
Did you like that delivery? What's this? Did that man drop this?
Got a torch. I might be able to get out of here. Whatever, I'll kill that dude. Yeah. Okay. But I'm suggesting that now this is a completely different shape that I've never seen before because you made some suggestions. And now if I lose, I'm only 50% responsible. Got it?
I think that is absurd because the only thing that I could imagine happening is you would have had this shape or a similar shape just further to the south with maybe like a weaker opening.
Probably, and I will win because I say so, but if I don't win, I'm gonna flip my lid.
Okay, then the last thing I'm going to say related to strategy for this particular situation, unprovoked, don't forget, Bartra did get shot a few times.
Yes, he did.
You can't tag enemies in this one to have their movement range stay, can you?
You can't. It's so annoying. I didn't realize that was like a feature from one of the new games.
It's a nice addition.
Yeah, tell them specifically what.
I believe it was introduced in Path of Radiance. That's the first time I remember seeing it. Starting in Path of Radiance, you can press a button while highlighting an enemy to bring up their range of movement and attack, but then you can also, it will stay there. Usually, I think in Path of Radiance, I believe it's an orange field sort of surrounds them in their movement and attack range and highlights the enemy, like it gives them sort of an orange aura. And I think that the really cool thing is you could do that for multiple units. And because you were in command of it, it was very flexible. So using what's on screen right now as an example, don't kill that guy yet. If you, as an example, wanted to move Pegasus Knight, and they're weak to archers, they're weak to bows, if you wanted to move a Pegasus Knight through this area safely, you could quickly go through and sort of
tag.
Yeah, you could tag all of these archers to find their combined movement and attack range. And it shows you the effective danger zone for your flyers. Yeah.
So fucking cool.
So cool, so handy, so flexible because you can just go through and mark all of the enemies with killer weapons, or you can mark all of the enemies with axes whenever you are focused on leveling somebody that has spears. It's great. It's incredibly handy. I remember one thing that I did whenever I was playing through Conquest recently, Fate's Conquest. Going through at the start of every map and just tagging every enemy that had a killer weapon or one of like the Slayer weapons. So something that would critically hit cavalry or critically hit someone with heavy armor. After a while that got to be a little ridiculous because it wound up meaning like most of the field was covered in bullshit.
Yeah.
But it was handy in like the middle of the game. I thought of a few examples. I'm going to finish talking about this topic this episode. In Disgaea and Disgaea 2, everybody moves on a team. You choose the order that they move in. That one is interesting because I believe your characters have speed as a statistic that doesn't affect turn order, which feels a little weird. Your characters in this game, they don't really have a dexterity, or can you bring up the stats for a second? They have, like, might or strength, I think. Strength skill. No, they do have speed, which affects their opportunity to double attack. I couldn't remember if it was like speed or dexterity. Disgaea in general is very interesting with its statistics because they're all, I think with few exceptions, they can all be used as fuel for assorted attacks. I think it's probably most pronounced in Phantom Brave, which is by the same developers, I believe, but it's not the it's not in the same series exactly, because it's not a Disgaea game, so the tone is different and many of the mechanics are different. But there are attacks that just say, like, this runs on speed, or this runs on resistance. That's one of the most fun things to do, is to start with a character in Phantom Brave that heals using their resistance stat, which is very common, and then eventually moves on to, like, they learn some attack, some odd attack. Like, I think, is it syringes? Maybe that's Makai Kingdom. Eventually you can find attacks that run on resistance. I think that, if I remember correctly, that makes speed-based characters in Phantom Brave especially powerful because they can use speed for turn order and also for dealing damage. So that's a little nasty. Anyway, I'm going to talk about Final Fantasy Tactics and Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, where I think in general what Fire Emblem has, even though it seems like it would be easy to exploit, the whole my whole team moves and then your whole team moves style of play, I think while that seems like it would be easy to exploit, and it certainly is easy to exploit for focusing your fire onto a single target, that it's very easy to do that, I think oftentimes, especially with Advance Wars, which is another game by Intelligent Systems, it keeps the pace brisk. Because if somebody is like, I want that thing dead, there is usually little you can do on your turn to prevent it. Prevention is really the strategy that you have to deal with, or that you have to apply in Advance Wars. But in Final Fantasy Tactics Advance and Final Fantasy Tactics on the PlayStation and on the PSP or whatever, Vita maybe? No, I think it was PSP. Whatever. There is no enforced team-based turn-taking. It is per character, and it's based on a speed statistic, which I do not believe has a cap. It is comparative. No, I don't think it's comparative. I think that underneath the whole system, if I remember the tutorial correctly, I think there's a meter that fills up secretly. And I believe it's whoever gets to 100 or whatever number. Whoever gets to that number first gets to go next. And the thing that kind of breaks the system, is that that speed isn't diminished in any way. There is no cap on the speed, so you can just... Oh, how does it... Whatever, I think that there's like a... sort of running underneath the map. There is some sense of passage of time that's calculated by the game.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just call it a tick, right?
Right.
So for every tick, a character, whatever their current speed value is, it is dumped into a bucket, and whenever that bucket is filled, you get a turn.
I'm scared.
Why?
Because if I attack him and he hits me, he'll do 10 damage.
You have to attack him?
Yes.
Because if you
don't,
he has a hand axe and he'll back away and whittle you down. You are probably fucked. Dorcas is almost definitely gonna die.
Oh, and I didn't answer that question.
What question?
We don't care about die.
Press the B? Do you have any vulneraries?
Of course not, it's Dorcas.
Why did you... I am extremely disappointed because you told me you had this, and I'm not a good parent. I'm mad and disappointed.
Well, I did this last time, as far as I know, exactly the same way, and the difference between this time and last time is that there's an axe dude here, when last time there's just a sword dude there.
Nope, that's not true.
It is true.
No, it's not true. It's impossible. It's... if you really only sent Dorcas over to that side of the map, the only way to explain it happening differently would be that Axeman going east for whatever reason.
I think that we baited him out this way.
Did you not take that town? So that town was technically available, so his pathing made him want to go to that town? Is that what happened?
I don't think I took that town quite as quickly last time as I did this time.
So I just realized that I adopted like the dad. Is that what happened? Did you leave that town? Is this your town, young lady? Did you leave this town lying on the floor? Because I stepped on a small, sharp building.
Well, he only has a 49% chance to hit me, so that's... I'm gonna do what I can.
Yep.
Alright.
You're dead.
I'm dead. I'm dead. Dorcas is dead.
I'm getting a little flustered. I actually don't know what to do.
I don't know what to do either.
Wow. Take the rest of your turn. Do your stuff.
I can't. I'm mourning.
Get to the jam.
This is awful.
Just do the stuff.
Just did this.
I thought it was weird that you were sending Dorcas over there by himself, and I was like, she probably put a vulnerary in his bag as a snacky before sending him over there.
No, I didn't, because I didn't last time. And it worked.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Too bad we don't have that one recorded and on the internet. A real shame. You're giving me such a look. So, using very fast characters and movement speed altering effects in Fire Emblem, in Final Fantasy Tactics, it is possible to get tons of turns for every one of your enemies. Speaking of Phantom Brave, the same thing is possible in that title because, again, the turns happen per character instead of per team. I think that's all I have to say about that subject, other than I feel like Final Fantasy titles that have the active time battle system. So Final Fantasy IX, for example, that's the one that first comes to mind for me. Although I guess it was also, I'm pretty sure that was what ran 7 and 8 as well. I feel like those games don't usually let things get too far out of hand, even though it is, again, tracked per individual rather than per team. I feel like they implement some pretty harsh diminishing returns. I think even if you have like a haste spell going, I think it's pretty late into the game before you get to the point where like you're getting 4 or 5 turns in a row for every one of your enemies, and even then it's only like whenever you go back and fight enemies again. That said, I haven't played Final Fantasy IX since I was a wee lad, so I might just be remembering incorrectly. You seem really down. You know, it's possible that he'll still miss.
I'm just heartbroken. I'm afraid for him because I was irresponsible and didn't give him a vulnerary. Didn't do it last time that way, but still, I should have thought to do that because I'm overly careful. That's what I do. I'm overly careful. I'm not myself right now.
We'll find out. We'll find out soon.
This is the end.
How much it matters.